Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up. Weekdays catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Missed you guys. It's been a couple days, so I felt like I needed to hop on real quick and do a little bit of updates on things that are going on. Have a quick show with you guys because your boy's been sick. And that's basically what it is. Your boy has been hit with a really bad cold and all that. And we here. We're going to talk about a few things here. It's going to be a very short show because honestly, I don't know how long. We'll see how this goes, okay? But your boy's not feeling so good, okay? Just to be completely real with you. But I missed you guys. I had to get back on here and give you guys some updates on some things that are going on and keep talking about these things that are going on. So please hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, hit that reaction button. Of course, don't forget to follow on those platforms, okay? Of course, subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel. Crush that subscribe button over there as well. That'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. It's called The Pascal Show Clips. A lot of things that I'm covering over here, I don't cover over there, and vice versa. So be sure you're subscribed to both channels, okay? Of course, hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. Check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Go check it out. Okay, guys, I'm sure you're going to find something you're going to love over there. All right, guys. We're going to get straight into this because, like I said, I am not, I'm fighting the worst cold I've had in a very long time. This one's sticking around and it's not leaving, and it's frustrating. Okay, because there's been a lot of news out here that's been going on, and I've just haven't been feeling very good. It's been very tough to find the energy to get on, turn these lights on and get in front of the camera and start yapping away for hours. But today's the first day back, and I'm going to try to soldier through as best as I can, okay? So this is going to be a short show. I will say also, though, there is another reason why I wanted to bring this up, because there is some things that happen, or there have been some things that have happened over the past couple days, and there's a new update about something else that's happening tonight that I think is very interesting. And if I'm feeling good, I will be back on to specifically talk about this one thing. But that's a little bit later on in the show that we are, of course, going to be talking about here in just a little while. But we are here, most definitely, here to talk about the Diddler, Cassie, and all the things that have gone on. The last time I was here live with you guys, we were talking about the fact that, as you see the title above or down below, his team had the audacity to basically demand from the feds, from prosecution, that they release the tapes to them. Now, first off, let me just say this really quick. You must be out your cotton-picking mind to release that information out to everyone, out to their team. You don't think that stuff is going to go and be suddenly, oops, they tripped and fell and it lands into the lap of the wrong people? I mean, think about it for a second, guys. Let's just think about it for a second. We're talking about Diddy here. This is the same guy who's out here, or was at least. I don't know if they've found out new information as of late, but this guy has been going out of his way to bend the rules while he's locked up. He's calling people. He's doing everything he can in his power, within his grasp, to try to move things, finesse, harass, coerce people, victims, witnesses, etc., from speaking out. And it's a pretty crazy thing to think about, okay? I mean, let's be real, all right? It is pretty crazy. Okay. Now, the thing is, though, that if these things are, and Kwame just said, it's the Brady material. By law, they give up the tapes. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, and I appreciate the super chat. Here's the thing, though, Kwame, and for everybody else, they're not withholding that information from the defense. You got to remember that. They're not sitting there going, nah, you can't have access to it at all, period, whatsoever. They're basically saying, hey, you can get access to the tapes, but they're in our possession. We don't trust you, kind of thing. Okay. So it doesn't matter. These things are under seal. These things are being protected for a very specific reason. You got to remember, these are all people. Okay. These are all people and potential witnesses and victims that could be depicted in these videos as well. Let's be real. We don't know the extent of these freak off tapes. We don't know if it's a sea of bodies or if it's just like 3 people in one room, right? You get what I'm saying, right? We don't know if it's a sea of bodies or if it's just a group of people, a small gathering of people bumping uglies. Real talk, we do not know. So the thing is that those people's identities, etc., they're also on the chopping block, or they could also get exposed if they were received or they were given to the wrong side or to the wrong people. Again, these are all potential witnesses, potential victims that are depicted on these videos, not only just Cassie, but those people as well. All those S workers, all those other celebrities, all the other people that might be involved in these videos. So that's one thing. They still have access to these videos. They're just being surveyed. They're just being watched as they are checking out these videos. They're allowed to go into a room. They're being watched by, some sort of representation of the prosecution where they can actually get access to these tapes. But at the same time, let's be real. If this stuff is exposed, if this stuff is actually released, oh boy, to them, it's a sea of trouble. There's already rumors saying like that these videos are already leaked out there, that Diddy has already leaked these things out. We don't know if that's entirely true. Don't know if that's actually 100% true, but at the same time, pretty scary stuff that there's potential for disaster here. Okay. And all these people being exposed, and you don't, like I said, you don't want that. Now, Kwame said again here earlier, and I didn't see it until just now, if Diddy guilty, show us the tapes and spike drinks. Now, here's the thing, though. Do you really want to see the tapes? Like, I don't want to see no tapes. I'm sorry. I have no interest in seeing those tapes. And yes, but here's the thing, though. I agree with you on if he's guilty, show it in the in court. Show it in court. The proof is in the pudding, right? Innocent until proven guilty. Let's be real. There's only one smoking gun piece of evidence that we've seen so far about Diddy so far, and it's him attacking Cassie out there in those streets. Let's be real. Let's be real, because I know some people will get all up in their feelings, all up in their fifis, getting mad when I say something like that. But let's be real. That's the only piece of information that we have so far, is that he attacked her viciously. And then, of course, we do have other people that have stepped forward, eyewitnesses, witnesses themselves, victims of themselves as well, that have been speaking out. But at the same time, yes, in a court of law, he is innocent till proven guilty. Show it in court. Absolutely. Bring it all to court. If the spiked drinks and the spiked baby oil is really a real thing, show it. Put it out there and show it. That's it. That's it. But that's the thing. Let me say this too. I get the defense having the need or the desire to get those tapes. I absolutely get it. It makes sense. They have a right to look at those things, but under the circumstances that they are in right now, which is very, very, very sensitive, I think that the defense, or not the defense, but the prosecution or the court is making the right decision for right now to be like, we are holding on to this stuff, but they still have access to it, guys. They still have access to it. Period. They still have access to it. But there's one thing that was being said in that document that I even paused on. And I made fun of it because I was like, what is the point? Why would he need this? It's Diddy basically saying he needs transcripts. He needs an opportunity to get thumbnails, okay, like stills from these videos, transcripts from the videos, and all that stuff. You got to be kidding me, okay? You got to be kidding me. All right? That, to me, I don't agree with that. You realize that if you give Diddy access to those things are going to get exposed. Or he could use it as blackmail to any other person that might be depicted in these videos. Ray that's in the corner over there in the video, he could literally call Ray and be like, or his people could literally go, hey, man, we saw you in this video. Now, I know you found God now. It's been years since this happened. You found God and, now you a daddy and, you a family man. But I can release this and destroy your life. You better speak on my behalf. That could actually happen. Or any of the other situations. Okay? Period. So to me, holding that information, with them still having access to that information, I think it's fair. Kwame said it again. Brady material by law, he has right to the tapes. Okay, here's the thing, though. If he has right to the tapes, yes, he does. But that's what I'm trying to say. They're still having access to the tapes. It's not like they're sitting there going, nah, can't see the tapes now. No, they can actually schedule a time to actually go in there and watch the videos. And they've already seen it 2 separate times. How many times do you need to see a video like that? Videos like that. 9 videos to be exact. How many times do you need to see S tapes of somebody allegedly seeing an S crime like that? Now, I get it that they need to do their due diligence, make notes and all that stuff, but that's exactly what they did in the last 2 times. Now, if they got to go and see it 10 times, then set up a schedule, make that ish happen and call it a day. But allegedly, they also made some mistakes. The defense made some mistakes. Hold on real quick. Nikki, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, here's the thing. They've seen it twice. There's 2 different dates on the documents. Okay. They went and saw the videos on 2 separate dates. One time, if I'm correct, in November and another time in December. Now, the thing is if they need to go see it again, then they schedule a time and they go and see that stuff and they write some notes and they do what they need to do. But what's really messed up is that they were saying things in their paperwork where they're basically saying like, hey, no. Like, you could see that she's enjoying it. You could see all this stuff. And for me, I'm like, I argue that. I think it's tasteless. The fact that they're literally saying, oh, well, the fact that you can see that she's clearly enjoying it shows that no crime was done here, that this is all just consenting adults. You can miss me with that nonsense. Real talk. You can miss me with that nonsense because let's be real. We don't know what happened before or even after the filming of those videos. We don't even know what really was going down in the midst of it all while this stuff was going down. Okay? Let's be real. So again, for me, I think it's ridiculous for them to sit there and say, oh yeah, I think it's really ridiculous for them to sit there and say, oh, she was just enjoying herself, so therefore he should walk free. But let's not forget, there were other crimes that were seen in this situation. Okay? There were crimes that were seen in there. There were still people in those videos that could possibly have been potentially ST'd, sent over state lines to be a part of these videos, a part of these events. Now, again, what happens between 2 consenting adults or a room full of consenting adults is one thing. But when you pay for people to come in, cross state lines, you're breaking laws. So again, no matter what, even if those 9 videos are her having the grandest time, okay, having the grandest time of her life, it still does not mean that there wasn't crimes happening while making those videos. Again, Kwame, let's see. If Diddy did these crimes, let us see why hide them. Now, here's the thing. Let the court see. Absolutely. Absolutely. But me, I have no interest in seeing that ish. Real talk. Personally, I don't. Okay? I don't. I mean, maybe Kwame, you do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Well, all due respect, I'm just saying I have no interest in that personally. Okay? I don't want to see a crime. I don't want to see something that's potentially a crime. Hail to the no. I got better things to do with my life. All right? But yes, present it to the courts. And that's exactly what they're doing. Okay? But what his team, what Diddy's team is doing right now is trying to basically say she was having a great time. It was consensual, so let him walk. Nah, it's not over yet. It is not over yet. It's not over yet at all. But let's take a look at this article here, okay? Now, it says top attorney reveals the real reason Diddy's legal team is demanding access to Cassie's S tapes, okay? And again, what's interesting again is, like I said just a second ago, they're trying to do everything they can to basically say, hey, she was having a great time. If she was having a great time, you should be letting her, then you should see that this is two consenting adults. This is not some puritanical crap, okay? That, you know, how dare you judge two people that want to get a little spicy, get a little freaky deaky in their bedroom. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what they're saying. These are two adults. Everyone gets a little freaky deaky in the bedroom. What the hell are you talking about? And then on top of it, release the tapes to us. We need those tapes. Give us the tapes. We want the tapes. And I say again, I don't agree with it. And if they do release the tapes, then hey, it is what it is. But I don't agree with it. I think that is a potential for absolute disaster in my personal opinion. Let's take a look at this article. Attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs are demanding to access a cache of videos that they say will prove ex-girlfriend Cassie had consensual activities with Diddy. In the latest episode of their podcast, The Trial of Diddy, criminal defense attorney and former federal prosecutor Gelman said the rapper's legal team could use the tapes to undermine Cassie's credibility or possibly get a better plea deal for himself. Now, what plea deal? All right. What plea deal could he possibly get? The only thing I could see him doing, let's be real, the only thing I can see him actually doing and getting possibly successful at is if he said, I'll expose others. That's the only plea deal I can actually see. Because obviously he's not the only one out here that's doing this kind of activity. Let's be real. He's not the only one doing this kind of activity. He's out here. I mean, he's doing this stuff. There's probably somebody up above him, alongside, on the same level as him, or right underneath him that are doing the same type of stuff, if not worse stuff than Diddy. And we are going to be talking about the making of a bad boy here in a little bit. But I saw the thing a couple days ago. I saw it as soon as it dropped. Of course, I got some opinions about it, but it's crazy, the information that was out there. And of course, again, other people that worked alongside of him, that were close friends of his, grew up with him, all that stuff, to the point where they live, they're recluse. They become recluses, I guess. Okay. But literally living off the grid, in hiding, not wanting to, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And the information that's out here, of course, there's things that we've heard a million times over, but there were a few other things that I found to be interesting in that documentary, which of course we are going to talk about. But they even say in the documentary, you can't tell me he is the only person. There's got to be something else going on here, that there could be other people that are working alongside him, or he's working for, or that are working for him. They even say, the feds say, that there is an quote unquote enterprise of people that are literally working for Diddy. Who are those people? Now, obviously, they have a few culprits. They have a few names that have been out here in the public, but We haven't heard the government say these actual names. And of course, there's a lot of speculation and rumor that those names are going to actually get released here in the very, very near future. I'll tell you what, that's something I want to see. That's something I definitely want to see. So this person, Gelman, okay, this attorney, said, let's just say Cassie's participating in things and looks like she's having a really great time. That obviously won't look good for her and her claims of what he did. Moving on. Continuing on the podcast, he said, if I'm in Diddy's legal team, that's how I'm going to be looking at it. And that's going to be the theme at my trial. Look, it's disgusting. It's not for everybody, but this is what Diddy was into. And the other individual, Cassie, was also into it as well. They're two consenting adults. Now, we already know about all this stuff. He pleaded not guilty to racketeering and STing charges. Okay. The federal indictment was brought after investigators. We already know about him being, his home's being raided, finding over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. Okay. And all that stuff. But moving on. Yeah. Remember, they ain't friends, right? Remember that? They ain't friends, y'all. Yeah. They ain't friends, okay? They ain't friends. That's a good question, Kwame. I don't have all the answers. I don't know. Somewhere, it's the feds probably have all that information. All right, but moving on. They ain't friends though. Remember that they ain't friends. Okay, moving on though. So Combs' attorney said they haven't been able to have full and unrestricted access to the 9 videos because of a protective order was placed on the materials. Under that protective order, the videos are held by federal prosecutors and are only available to Combs' team for inspection with law enforcement supervision. Like I said, they're allowed to have access to these videos. They are, but it's within certain confines. Like, hey, we have law enforcement standing on the sidelines to make sure you ain't walking out with a copy of the damn tapes. Let's be real, y'all. Let's be real. Do you think, you know what? I'm going to put this in a poll. Let's see. Jesus, I can't type today. Simple yes or no. All right. We gave up on the I don't know question anymore. Okay. So, or option. It's either yes or no. Do you think the tapes, okay? Do you think the tapes should be released to Diddy's team? Let me just say this. To me, hell to the no. Why? Why no? Because here's the thing. One of the things that I'm worried about, like I've said a million times before, this stuff getting leaked. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. And that's not very far. So I don't trust them at all. Okay. I don't trust it not one bit. Now it's up to the judge it's up to the court to make a decision on whether or not they let them have full access to these tapes. But I'm telling you right now, if they have full access to the tapes, that means Diddy has full access to the tapes. And if Diddy has full access to the tapes, what do you think he's going to do? What do you think he's going to do? He's already been known, or at least alleged, of actually blackmailing people, harassing them with material because he's filming he has cameras in every room of his house. So if you're in that room and you're a celebrity doing a little yayo, or you're a pastor, okay, and you're all holier than thou, but you out here making out with men's and you're a married man, and you out here in the public as a straight married man, and you love the Lord, but you get caught on video with some men's come on now. Yeah, that smoosh wooshy. Exactly. Oh my God, Dr. No Name. Yeah, that smooshy wooshy. Okay, that smoosh noosh. Orlando Brown. Reigns supreme. But you know what I'm saying? Hell no. This should not be let out. I'm just telling you, this situation is a little bit different than other situations. That's what I truly believe. There are way too many other innocent lives that are in those videos, potentially in those videos, that could also have their innocent lives destroyed. There's also potential witnesses, potential victims as well that could be depicted in these videos. Their lives could also be destroyed as well. And also, that could also mean any of those witnesses that they're using, that the feds are actually using, could also kick rocks. Think about that. They could also kick rocks. Hey, man, I got that video. I see you in there, man. You having a great time, bruh. I'm just saying. I understand that you're part of one of these things. You're witnessing one of these things, bruh. So I need you, homie, to step back, or this whole video gets out there, man. I know you're a married man now. I know you found God and everything, but you got a choice, bruh. All right, man. I'm just saying that could be very, very bad. That's a recipe for disaster. But again, it's up to the court. It's up to the court on whether or not they are going to do something about it or no. And I hope that they still stay on the side of nah. They still have access to it. They can still go into this room under law enforcement supervision, but we are not releasing the tapes to these people. You out your doggone mind. It is a recipe for disaster. Okay. Kwame, thank you so much. It's only Diddy and Cassie on 9 tapes. So that's the thing though. They don't give out the information. So they don't say anything about it being only just Cassie and Diddy. Here's the other thing too. Now, depending on what's being done or shown or depicted in these videos, let's not forget those 9 tapes. Yeah, there could be all kinds of crazy stuff that's going on between 2 consenting adults. That could very well be it. But at the same time, not once do they say in their document that it's just 2 people getting it on. Not once. They talk about these videos and that they're a little freaky. What they are, anything's possible. Okay? Anything's possible. It could be stuff with ropes and stuff like that. That's possible. It could be people in the room. The sky is the limit. But I don't think that the feds would talk or put this kind of information out there saying that there are group meetings, if you get what I'm saying, in Diddy's bedroom with Cassie if they didn't actually have that evidence. So at least one of these videos has a group meeting going on. More than just 2 people in the bedroom having consensual activity going on. Just saying. All right. But let's continue on. So I don't see a problem. Personally, I don't see a problem with them being able to have access to watch these videos with law enforcement supervision. I get it. Personally, I get it. I get why. This is a recipe for it could get very messy if the judge says, yes, we will release these tapes. But again, still up to the judge now to make the decision. Yep, we're going to release the tapes or we're not going to release the tapes. We'll see what happens here, right? In due time. But again, they still get access and they're still with law enforcement supervision. So that to me, I don't see a problem. Like I said, why do you need to have it for your spank bank? Real talk. Do you need it for your own spank bank? Let's be real. All right. Let's continue on. However, defense attorneys said they have only been able to access the footage twice. Like I said, twice, 2 different times since he was sent to jail. Okay. Like I said, they had it in November. They had it in December. They got to see it 2 different times. Again, you can, I'm sure, get access to it if you keep asking for it, right? But we'll see if that's actually true or not. So this lawyer said Combs' team could be placing pressure on prosecutors to release these tapes to negotiate a better plea deal. There better not be a plea deal. Potentially, this is probably a negotiation plea as well. All right. I don't know if there's been any offers extended to Diddy and his legal team for a potential plea, and if there are, I'm sure they are credibly long. Sorry, probably looking at life in prison. So this is maybe a ploy for Diddy's team to lower that number. He also continues saying that if they get this and it shows Cassie is potentially enjoying the stuff on the video, they will be able to go after her credibility. The government will know that, and they'll think, maybe if we give a better deal, we don't have to have her go on stand and she doesn't have to then answer questions that maybe she won't look good to a jury. Now, it could be a negotiation ploy. I wouldn't put it past them. Now, again, yes, there is potential of that. Let's be real. There is absolute potential of them bringing her up and defense being able to drop it like it's hot right there, right in Cassie's face, and right there while she's during her testimony, and then she looks like a damn fool. But at the end of the day, I feel like the question still remains, and I said it on the last time we talked about this, is the fact that she wrote out a scathing lawsuit, said all these unthinkable things, unbelievable things in this lawsuit, massive lawsuit that we saw. She talks about it. It's out there. Diddy was warned about this lawsuit. He scoffed at it, basically. The thing went public. The very next day after it went public, he signed checks to her. Let's work it out, right? So to me, that's credibility enough. Why would he all of a sudden fork over $30+ million to a woman if he really truly believed that her credibility was trash? Think about that. Clearly, not only did that video, and by the way, the video came out after the settlement, guys. The video came out even after the settlement. So yeah, he could have had that video and he's like, oh, damn. But he still would have been like, no, we gonna fight this. Because he's got long game money. Cassie ain't got that long game money. She got money, but she ain't got that Diddy money. She ain't a billionaire. Again, it just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, she could potentially look like Boo Boo the Fool when she takes the stand. If she was to take the stand, she could lose her credibility because they're going, in these videos, it looks like you're having a great time. Sup with that. But I feel like she can explain that to a certain extent. I do. I truly believe that. I was threatened. I was coerced. He threatened me that if I don't act while on camera, when the camera is rolling, that I could be in very big trouble, or I was plied with substances, like she says in her lawsuit, that he actually settled on the very next day. So again, as much as they say, oh, because she's potentially enjoying the activities in these videos, it could lose her credibility, doesn't mean anything. That lawsuit itself is credible enough. The settlement, the fast turnaround settlement of her lawsuit is credible enough, in my personal opinion, as well. Just saying. So you can sit here and you can miss me with all the nonsense, because here's the other thing too. Let's not forget this too. Just because she's having a great time in these 9 videos does not mean that she didn't have other videos that she was having a terrible time. Where are those videos? Also, remember, Diddy's team is claiming that Cassie had these videos, right? That she had these videos. These are her videos. Who's to say that she kept the ones that she actually looked like she was enjoying herself, and the other ones she deleted, where it was torment, it was torture? I'm just saying. I mean, like I said, I'm not moving the goalpost for her. I'm just asking the questions, right? You never know. She may have been like, I'm keeping these videos, but these other ones are too traumatic for me to keep. And she deleted them. That's possible. If these are actually coming straight from Cassie. But you also got to remember, this man had terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of content that I'm sure still going through right now as we speak. Again, think about it. She was in hell. So for them to sit there and say that she loses credibility is trash to me. Then on top of it, them saying, oh, the feds are just, puritanical. Stop. Time out. Shush. Shush your mouth. Okay? Because it's trash. In my personal opinion. Okay? But let's see. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. But keep voting. I'd love to see a few more votes in there. Okay? And of course, do not forget, hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. Crush it, crush it, crush it. Hit that like button down below. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe, please. And thank you. I know it's been 2 days. It was almost 3. I was thinking about not doing a show. I was like, I feel like such trash. But I was like, you know what? I got to do a show. We gotta keep it moving. We gotta do some things. But I do want to say this though too. It's a little bit of a left turn, but some really big things are happening in over the next couple weeks, and I can't wait to announce those things when those things do drop. Just so you guys know. So just a heads up. One other thing too is we will be watching Inauguration Day. Okay, we will be watching the whole inauguration. So hopefully I will. Yeah, I'm already souping up and all kinds of stuff, tea, etc. Okay, that Mucinex, that Dayquil, that everything I could get my hands on, because I hate feeling like this. Trust, I hate feeling like this. But one thing is for sure, and ginger root and all that stuff too. But one thing's for sure, we are going to be watching the inauguration on Monday. Okay, because that's a historical moment. All right, we all have to watch that. Okay, and of course, I'm kind of curious to see what's going on. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Okay. But Kwame, she's going to have to explain vacay shopping sprees too. Not really though, man. Not really though, Kwame. She don't have to explain any of that, homie. She doesn't. She doesn't. She doesn't. She really doesn't. Lo siento, but she doesn't. She was her boyfriend, or she was his girlfriend. She got shopping sprees. She got shopping sprees. There's no crime on that. Still, no crime in that. But if he attacks her and the crime is depicted, yeah, it's a wrap. If she's plied with substances and that is on tape somewhere, if there's proof of that, it's a wrap, etc. It's bad, y'all. It's bad. He's got a lot of explaining to do. Okay, he's got a lot of explaining to do, because let's be real. When he settled with her that quickly, it was over. It's over. Yes, his team was like, well, that doesn't actually mean that it's an admission of guilt. Well, why would you go and settle that quickly if you believed you innocence? If you really innocent, why would you go and settle that quickly? Real talk. Why would you go and settle that quickly? Period. It's an admission of guilt. Then the video dropped, and then he said, I found God, I found, all that stuff that he said, right? It's because she has some information. She has some stuff, y'all, that's very bad for him, that could destroy, well, it's already destroyed, his whole doggone career. Everything that he's built is now crumbling right at his feet. It is what it is. Okay? But yes, there's going to be people in there that are lying through their teeth, that they're coming up with stuff, or, making lawsuits, saying the same crap, saying the same stuff that other real victims are saying, that they'll sit there and go, yeah, I was given such and such, and then I was plied with substances, and then I was viciously attacked. There's going to be a lot of those people, y'all. There's going to be a lot of those people that are going to be speaking out that are not telling the truth. I'm going to keep it a bean. But then there's going to be a lot of people that are speaking out that are telling the truth. The problem is that we have to sift through the people who are not telling the truth and find the people who are actually being truthful. That's the bad, sad, and terrible part of the whole situation. And I wish we weren't in that kind of breakdown, in that kind of world. But unfortunately, we is. It's annoying. It's trash, but it is what it is. It's just a world that we live in, right? Now, we got to talk about this documentary, the recent one, because there's a new one coming out next week. I think it's next weekend, if I'm correct. All right. The documentary, which is the making of a bad boy. Okay. Now, that documentary was very, very interesting. I also felt that it was very rushed. Yeah, I said it. I felt that it was very rushed. I felt like it was very rushed for various reasons. One, you got Albie Shore out here saying what he said. And there's a lot of things that he said in that documentary, which I was like, no, wait. Hold up, baby. Hold up. Push everybody aside for a minute. And let's just talk to Albie Shore for a second. Let's just hear what he got to say. Because he's got a lot to say. He even said that Kim was muerted. Yes, he did. He said Kim's M. Oh, you mean Kim's M, right? He said it straight up. He did not care. Damn right he said what he said. But I saw that and I'm like, wait a second. Then he also talked about him and what happened with him. And he's like, this was a full-on planned attack. They were trying to take my life and all that stuff as well. He has a lot to say. Now, what's crazy about it is like, oh, here's a little sprinkle of it. Here's a little peppering of it. Not even seasoning, okay? No seasoning whatsoever. Just a flake of salt, okay? Flake of pepper. They're like, here you go. Now we got to move on to the next thing. Now, it's fine. It's a documentary. They should have turned that into a docu-series or a 3-parter because I felt like Albie Shore had a lot more to say. And that's what really angered me because I'm like, damn, they could have expanded on Albie Shore because he had a lot to say. Then let's not forget his partner, Diddy's best friend, childhood friend that he grew up with, went through the ranks with him, started Bad Boy with him, made Grammys or got Grammys, platinum records and all that stuff. That man now is a recluse. That man now is living off the grid. That man now is living in hiding. He's hiding right now, which is crazy to me. There was so much that he said in that documentary that I was like, you could have expanded on that too. It was just like like I said, a little bit of a peppering here and there. And I'm like, oh my God, you got an exclusive with Diddy's childhood friend, AK, also not only just childhood friend that was like basically his brother, but also his business partner for a long time. You mean to tell me you can't expand on this? Then turn it into a 3-hour documentary. It felt like they cut out so much stuff that was very, very frustrating. Albie Shore they could have dove into Albie Shore a little bit more. They could have dove into the friend. I forgot his name right now. I think it's like Steven something, I think. I'm forgetting the name. I feel like I hate when that happens, but it's been a couple days. But again, I'm like, man, they could have gone further with this and they didn't, right? Then Sarah River, I think is her name. If I'm correct. Hold on. Let me make sure. I think it's Rivers. Yeah, Sarah Rivers, I think. Yes, Sarah Rivers. Okay, she was part of the making of the band, The Band. right? She was one of them, one of the ones that went out. Was it Tim? My bad. Maybe it was Tim. Tim. Okay. But then Sarah Rivers, she was also part of the making of the band, right? The series that was on, I think it was like I don't know what season it was, but the same season where he's like, yo, I want y'all to go out and get me a cheesecake. And they walked 8 hours to go get a cheesecake. And then they came back with the cheesecake, right? And it was a big deal. A lot of people were, the whole group was very angry about it and all that. She speaks out and even says, yeah, he touched me inappropriately as well. And I'm like, oh my Lord. But actually, wait a second. They cut and they go off to another thing. And I'm like, wait, what the hell? Do you mean, would you mind expanding on that? Just a teensy weensy bit? Do you mind? Can you want to expand on that and tell us a little bit of the story on what actually happened here, sweetheart? But no, they pass on and they go to the next thing. Like I said, it was so abrupt and it felt rushed. And I get it. They want to be one of the first, which they were not, but they want to be one of the first to get out there with their documentary, and they want the clicks, they want the views. But at the same time, you got some of the big, like some serious names that have not ever been seen before coming out and speaking out. And then suddenly you're abbreviating everything. You're not allowing to expand on it, hearing everything that they got to say. Lingering on those moments a little bit more before you just cut off to a damn commercial. Okay. I'm just saying, at some point you got to be like, yo, wait a second. Hold up. Can you expand on that a little bit? Can you talk about that a little bit more? Like, Al, you just said what? So you really believe that she was M'd? Word. Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit more. That didn't really happen. At least to my pleasure, it didn't happen. Then, of course, Sarah Rivers says that she was touched inappropriately, and then that was it. She just said it, and then that was it. I'm like, whoa, can you talk? Can you? I'm like, but you're not going to talk about the incident? And let's not forget, there are moments when somebody will sit there and go, he touched me inappropriately. And then they'll go, can you give us the story? Can you tell us what happened? And they go, I don't want to talk about it. It's too traumatizing. That could possibly happen. I'll give them some slack, okay, on that. But there were some parts I'm like, damn it, go further. Ask them more questions. Hardball. We're playing hardball. You got the exclusives, plural. Ask them the questions. Make them answer some hard-hitting questions. Let's go. And it didn't happen. It didn't. Okay? So Tim, the friend that he grew up with, he had a lot to say. And I felt like there was not a lot that was asked to him. Now, he did speak a lot. He was one of the main people that was talking throughout this whole entire documentary. And I appreciate it. We hear about his upbringing. We hear about what it was like, just being with Diddy. And it's kind of sad what he says, about how he's like, I don't know this Diddy. I know Sean. I don't know who this person is. And I'm waiting for that one day he comes back to reality. And I'm like, you know what? It's sad. It's really sad. But then this is where it really grind my gears. And again, I don't know what actually happened during the taping of these interviews and all that stuff. But I felt like that, like I said, I felt like it was rushed. But another piece, I felt like there were pieces that could have been standalone pieces, or they could have had its own episode by itself. Let me explain. One of the accusers spoke out in the docuseries. To me, this was a very big deal. Why? Because what she says, what is written in this legal document is so outrageous, so beyond imagination, in my personal opinion, that you kind of step back and you wonder if that these allegations are absolutely true. Now, hear me out. This accuser steps out. You don't see her. She's silhouetted, but she's like, I'm the one who, went through all this stuff, la, 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 right? They didn't even stay with her for 5 seconds, man. They talk about the trauma and then they just move on. And I'm like, oh my God. We've already read, and for all of us who have already gone through all the legal documents, who have talked about this stuff ad nauseum, why wasn't there any more questions asked to her for her to answer? There was a shootout, y'all. I'm telling you, literally, people pulling out their pew-pews and bang, bang, bangs. Real talk. This is a situation where there was a police reports that were actually filed that they have asked, even the producers of that documentary, asked the actual department for the documents, and they were denied access to the documents, y'all. Well, you get it. It's because I stopped it in the middle of the other one. But anyway, remember, even Ariel Mitchell Kidd, the lawyer that's representing this actual Jane Doe, or not this Jane Doe, I'm sorry. I think it's her name, if I'm correct, it's Ashley, I think it's Ashley. But anyway, she even has said, hey, I've reached out to them. They said I have to have a subpoena to get access to a police record, to a police report that she actually filed. That's illegal. That's absolutely illegal. This is the same girl, just a quick reminder, okay? Just a quick reminder. This is the same girl that met up with a friend at a bar, or she ran into some guy. I guess the guy was hitting on her, basically saying, I know Diddy. Diddy's my best friend. So they FaceTimed her. They FaceTimed with Diddy. And then while she's on the phone, she's talking, I guess she was giving Diddy hell, basically saying, yeah, you're the one who, you're involved in the unaliving of Tupac. Apparently that made Diddy feel some type of way. So again, this woman gets invited over to this man's home to help him with something. I think it was something with medication. She goes over there. Next thing you know, Diddy shows up, and then Diddy and a group of men viciously attack her. KK, one of his assistants, was apparently in the room as well. They viciously attack her. They do all this kind of stuff, right? Then she gets out after it's all over, after the crimes are done. She gets out, she gets her clothes on. She's trying to leave. Diddy calls his mom. Mom's on the phone trying to convince her not to say anything about this being non-consensual. She, of course, says, F you, I'm out, kind of thing, and talks about the Tupac thing. But then suddenly, out of nowhere, one of the guys in the room gets upset about this, hearing about this Tupac thing, pulls a pew-pew out and points it at Diddy. What you say about this whole Tupac thing, bro? She stands behind him, right? Then something random happens, and somehow the gun goes off. Suddenly that she runs off. She's trying to run away. And of course, I'm trying to abbreviate this as much as I can. As she's trying to escape, she cuts him. She catches him with a knife on his side. That's what she says, his left side, if I'm correct, and runs outside. As she's outside, the neighbor who's already been checking in on them a couple times because there was a lot of commotion is like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. But as she's talking to this man, the same bodyguard that pulled the pew-pew out on Diddy walks over to her and basically says, hey, I'm an undercover cop. This is one of the same bodyguards that also attacked her in the bedroom. Then suddenly there's a shootout that happens in the middle of the street. And then somehow she gets to the neighbor's home. She stays there for a few minutes or for a little while, and then goes back into the house where the crime was committed and spends the night. Now, of course, I'm abbreviating the hell out of this situation. And it's the wildest, craziest lawsuit I've seen pretty much ever because of all the pew-pews. And it just felt like a Tyler Perry movie or an episode from a Tyler Perry show, right? It just seemed a little bit out of this world. But anyway, she was on this show. She was on this documentary. And they didn't even go further in the conversation. Now, I get it. She's dealing with a lot of trauma. What she went through is absolutely horrendous, terrifying, and I can't believe those things are actually real. But still, nonetheless, there was an opportunity to ask her more questions and find out what was going on. But what's interesting about this, though, okay, because Nedra, okay, the story is wild as hell. All right. Absolutely wild. I still am like, and I understand, sometimes things can, the real life can be stranger than fiction. But at the same time, I'm like, how is that even real? How is that even a real thing? It's pretty crazy, right? Well, Banfield will be interviewing this woman tonight. So there's a full-on 1-hour special going on tonight where Banfield is going to be interviewing this very woman, talking about her experience. And of course, she says it in this video. And depending on if I get access to it and all that stuff, we are definitely going to be watching it as a family after the interview airs. I will be watching it. I'm definitely going to be watching this. Because it's a full hour-long special that's airing tonight where this woman is still silhouetted and all that stuff. But at the same time, hopefully Ashley Banfield asks those questions that I think a lot of us are still wanting to know. Like, number one, why did you go back? Why would you go back into the home where this crime was committed and then stay there? Why? Etc. There's a lot of questions revolving around it. But like I said, let's take a look at this video. This is very crazy. And apparently, allegedly, this interview is happening tonight. And I will say this too, okay? Remember, this same woman was supposed to be on Banfield a few weeks, about a month or two ago. And then she bowed out. So I don't know if they pre-recorded this interview or not. But hopefully she stays with it. If it's all live, hopefully she doesn't bow out. Hopefully she doesn't run away. And hopefully she answers some of these hard-hitting questions that I hope Banfield is actually going to ask. But let's take a look at this video, okay?
Hear some disturbing details of brutal violence and boundless cruelty. And before I say another word, you need to know two things. One, it is one woman's account laid out in a lawsuit that has not yet been proven. And two, the person being accused of these terrible things is Sean Diddy Combs, and he's denying everything. We touched on this story before, back when Ashley Parham filed a jaw-dropping lawsuit. The claims were just mystifying and overwhelming. She says that she was drugged and gang raped by Diddy and his entourage at a private home in the Bay Area back in 2018. She says after the gang rape, she slashed Diddy with a knife and was shot at by either Diddy or a member of the entourage before narrowly escaping with her life.
Okay. She's abbreviating everything that, like giving a summary, because like I said, the details in that documentary or in the documents, are absolutely insane. Like I said, it is one of the wildest lawsuits I've ever seen. And again, it could be real.
She then says she was rescued by a neighbor nearby who called police, but she claims the officers who responded ignored her. I reported those details from the court filing, but now Ashley has agreed to sit down with me and detail what happened in person. I also asked her some difficult questions about specifics in her alleged ordeal, In return, we agreed to hide her face, and she joined me earlier today along with her attorney,
Okay.
Ariel Mitchell.
Good. So in other words, that's good. The interview has already been done. So it's already been pre-recorded. So there's no way she could back out from the interview. The interview is done. So it's not a live thing. So yay. I'm happy about that. Because like I said, these platforms, okay, they need, you know what I'm saying? They need to start bringing in these, well, you know, when someone is willing to sit down and talk, these questions need to be asked. You know what I'm saying? These hard-hitting questions need to be asked for sure. Okay. So I'm happy that this is happening. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that I don't believe this woman, this victim. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is it's just a wild case, y'all. It's a wild case, but there's a little snippet in here of the interview. So let's take a look at this.
If you can, and I'm sorry these questions are so difficult. I'm following along with the affidavit for the most part. Can you tell me what happened after you say Sean Combs allegedly raped you with the TV remote? What happened after that in that bedroom with all of those people present?
They took turns raping me, and Sean Combs raped me anally. Shane Pierce also raped me vaginally. And the bodyguard guy, he raped me as well while Sean Combs was sitting in a chair naked, filming it and jerking to watching me being raped.
Sean Combs was masturbating while you say the other members of his party were taking turns with you?
Yeah.
Important to note, these are accusations only at this point. They have not been proven in a court of law. It's not a criminal case. It is a civil case.
That's the other thing, too, that this is still, and again, you know, I don't know if it's because of statute of limitations in certain states and all that stuff, because if I'm correct, this happened in California. It is interesting that, yeah, I mean, she talks, and allegedly she's going to be saying some stuff in this hour-long interview, which, of course, hopefully News Nation puts out clips of it immediately after the interview airs so that we can watch it. I may be on late tonight watching it with you guys, because to me, this is a very big deal, because there's a lot that I'm very curious about and wondering why certain things went the way they went. And of course, I think Ashley Banfield even talks about it here.
And you're going to hear a full hour of our conversation tomorrow on a special edition of Banfield, including Parham's answer to a question that has nagged at me from the start. Why, after making such a daring escape, would she return and then spend the night at the scene of her harrowing gang rape and shootout?
That's exactly what I want to know as well. Why? That is a very interesting, and if it's 110% true, very sad situation that she had no other place to go if that was the case, and that she stayed in the home of the person, of one of the people that actually violated her. It just doesn't, it's so wild. Okay. It's just wild.
Again, Sean Combs firmly denies all of this. His attorneys gave us this statement. I want to read for you in full. Quote, as the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department confirmed, her report was thoroughly investigated and it was determined the claims were unfounded. Mr. Combs was nowhere near Orinda, California on the day she claims she was assaulted. There is no evidence that Mr. Combs was even in the same room as Ms. Parham. She is completely unbelievable, and no sane person who views the evidence will credit her story.
Again, what's interesting right now is that the fact that they say no sane person who views the evidence will credit her story. What's sad about this and what's frustrating about this is that there are other people, okay, other people are speaking that have reached out to the actual police department. They're refusing to release the police report. So if Diddy's team was able to get access to the police report and Ashley Parham's attorney, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, couldn't get access to this information, I think that's a little bit odd, don't you think? It's a little bit odd. Look, hold on. As the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department confirmed, her report was thoroughly investigated and it was determined the claims were unfounded. So if they're saying that there's a report that was made, where's the report? You see what I'm saying? Even in the making of a Bad Boy, they reached out to the sheriff's department, to this actual department, and the department refused to give them the reports. Same thing with Ariel Mitchell Kidd. When she asked for that information, she was refused the documents. They said, you need a subpoena for that. Why? She wrote the report. It's a civilian making that police report. She doesn't have her right. She doesn't have the rights to access her own police report that she filed. Make that make sense. So you're telling me that Diddy's team knows about it, and they're able to have a good conversation with Contra Costa's sheriff's department without any issues. Like I said, they were able to go in there and they looked into it and they said, according to them, to the sheriff's office, the same sheriff's office that Ariel Mitchell Kidd is trying to get access to, and these other producers as well, trying to get of these documentaries, trying to get access to the police report. What are they saying to other people other than Diddy's team? They're saying, hell no, you need a subpoena. But Diddy's team, oh, no problem. Come on in, brother. How you doing? Yeah, the report was thoroughly investigated, and those claims were unfounded. See, like I said, make it make sense. Make it make sense. This is weird. Now, I get it. What's weird about the other parts of her taking, going back into the house and sleeping in the house and all that stuff? That's weird. I'm going to be real. That is very questionable. I have a lot of questions about that because I'm like, why would you do that? Why would anyone do something like that after they were viciously attacked? Why? I got questions, just like anybody else, right? But then at the same time, when you hear this part, you hear the whole story of hers, pretty wild allegations, pretty wild report. But then when you hear them talk about it, them trying to get access to simple police reports that they should have access to, and they're getting denied, that's very odd. It's extremely odd. Unless those police reports never really happened. But again, let me point this out again. Her report was thoroughly investigated. See, it says it right there. Her report was thoroughly investigated. So they got access to the reports, but herself and her own legal team does not have access to these legal reports or to these to her own police report that she filed herself. Make it make sense. There's a bias here for sure. Or if they're on the payroll, then they definitely on some sort of payroll. Something's not right here. So instantly when you hear a story like that of what happened to her, where she was viciously attacked by a gang, there's a whole shootout and all that other stuff. She was running like crazy. One of the guys says, I'm an undercover cop and all that stuff. That is some wild stuff. But then on top of it, when you ask for access to police reports and those people are sitting there saying, nah, you need a subpoena for that. That is crazy. And then instantly you go, okay, maybe she is telling the damn truth. Maybe she is telling exactly what happened. And again, life can be stranger than fiction. And maybe that's what it is here too. But again, this happens tonight. If I'm correct, I think it's 9 Central. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Tonight is the interview. So, like I said, I'll be watching it and checking it out. I'll be taking notes and all that. Hopefully there'll be clips put out online so that we could talk about it, but we will be talking about it most likely late tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, because I don't think any of us want to miss this. Real talk. I don't think any of us want to miss this interview, but just so you know, it happens tonight because it's Friday night. So definitely it's not airing tomorrow. It's airing tonight. And like I said, something's rotten in Denmark, y'all. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all. Thank you so much. I got through it. I'm surprised. Whew, I'm surprised I got through it. But anyway, I appreciate all y'all for being here. It means a lot. Hopefully I'll be back on a little bit later on tonight to watch the interview, because I think it's going to be huge. Yes, the interview will be on News Nation. So go get your tuchus over there. It's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be wild. All right. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, hit that follow button, please. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button here. Go to my secondary channel. I'm telling y'all, go to the secondary channel, baby. Subscribe. The Pascal Show clips. Subscribe to that secondary channel, please and thank you. All right. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, do not forget to check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, guys. Fantastic stuff over there. Okay? But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I'll most likely see you guys late. It's going to be a late show, but it's Friday night. What you got to do? I mean, aside from being social and have friends. But, you know, if you're going to be home, join me, because we will be watching that for sure. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.